radio station. But don't forget, you can watch us too if you would like. We are on your computer, your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. I encourage you to do that. You'll see I have a full house today. We've got some special guests visiting Mississippi from across the pond, as they say, from Bridgewater and Tauton College. They're doing an exchange program with Hinds Community College, and we've got some of their staff members and students joining us today, so it should be a fun day. So we've got Tim, John, and Karen joining us first. Hello, all. Welcome.
Hello.
All right, Tim, I'm going to start with you. You're on this side of the pond. This is what you call home with Hinds. And so give us a little background how this exchange program works and maybe when it got started.
This exchange has been going on for 31 years, so it's quite some time. And I've only been involved in it for the last 6 years. So I've been at Hinds for 17 years. Most of that time was teaching English. And somewhere during that time, I got asked to go overseas for the first time and visit Bridgewater College.
They had to pull your arm, huh? Twist your arm.
Not too hard, too hard. But I went over there, made some good friends, and I think that's what sets this program apart from some other international programs that colleges do. We're not just touring some foreign location, but we're building relationships. And so if you get the chance to go over there with Hinds, you are staying in folks' homes that we've been with for many years. We're visiting places where you might run into someone who's been to Raymond, Mississippi.
Oh, that's cool.
So it really makes the world a smaller place when you start building those relationships.
So, John, when did you get connected with this partnership, with this exchange between Hinds and Bridgewater?
Yeah, so I've been at the Bridgewater and Tauton College for 26 years, so I managed to come over my first time, I think it was 24 years ago. So we brought over a group of automotive students. So that was my first experience of the Mississippi hospitality in Raymond, Mississippi. But and then from there I've sort of now lead sort of the funding that these students get to come over to Mississippi. So it's a government initiative that allows them to come over to experience different cultures, come and look at the history. We go to the Civil Rights Museum, we go to Memphis, we go to New Orleans. They sample some of the cuisine here. So they sample today some grits, and you probably have to ask them in a bit. I don't think they enjoyed the grits. I don't mind the grits, but they were a bit not their favourite.
That's funny. Did you put cheese and butter and all the good things in there?
We didn't know it was given to us. I think it was just salt and pepper. I'm not sure. Yeah.
There's different ways to eat. Now I'm worried. I'm like, where did you take them to get grits? But that's okay. We'll get to that. Okay, Karen, you're also a staff member with Bridgewater. How did you get connected with the exchange program?
So I worked for the college for about 6 years now. So I think in my first year, I kind of got involved, saw the students coming over and taught a bit their lessons. And then about 3 years ago, I got involved a bit more with hosting. So I hosted a number of students and staff members from previous years. But this is my first year coming out to Mississippi.
Well, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
So, Tim, this is an exchange. It's a partnership, right?
Correct.
And so we send students to Bridgewater. Bridgewater brings students here. I heard John mention automotive. Is there a different sort of interest in the students each time, or is it does it stick the same? And are they the same that are swapping?
So the way we do it from our end is that our Honors Institute at Hinds Community College sort of oversees the program, and so I recruit students and try to get some from various campuses, from various programs. And so this year we sent a group of 10 over to Bridgewater during spring break. We do it during the spring break time, so they stay over there for about 10 days, and we try to give them some course study as part of that. So this year's group took a course in history. They got a history college credit, and they looked at British history, particularly focusing on the era around the American Revolution and how we borrowed a lot of our ways of doing government from the English. And so when they went over there, they did some things that sort of aligned with that realm of study. So they toured the Houses of Parliament, for example, and got to see how Parliament works and sit in on some of the House of Commons.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's real cool. John, how do you guys select the students to come over here to be connected to how they can further their studies in Mississippi?
So it depends on the year. We try to open it up across the college, but we specifically look at what we call a course called T levels. So we've had construction, business, nursing, healthcare. But now we predominantly looked in the line of A-level students. So these are studying law, history, and I'll let them explain a little bit more when they come over. So we have a selection process because this is funded. So we have to go through an interview process. So these apply for the funding for the opportunity. So then they go through an interview process and they're selected then to come obviously to Mississippi. So we're slightly different. We have to be in the country 15 days, and that's not the travel. So the program set out by our hosts, but some of that is to do with what Karen, because she's the teacher, wants them to observe and to look at, to gather knowledge from. So that the programs sort of split up, bit of culture, working with some of the students in Hines, going to some of those real sort of, like you say, the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum was yesterday. We've been to see the Supreme Court, been to the Governor's House. So these experience of that real Mississippi culture and how education is different the other side of the pond as well.
Karen, for you, how do you do your research on that? Like, how do you kind of know what your students need to be learning? And then do you just connect? Obviously, I'm sure Tim's a wealth of information, but also do you get kind of explore and sort of see, if you were the student, like what you would kind of want to learn here?
Yeah, definitely. So the students who have come along with us, one of the requirements is they have to study within our A-level programme. We offer around 17 to 20 different A-levels. So they have to study either law, politics or history, because I've taught across all three of those subjects. So like there's kind of like my special interest when I'm here as well. So we're kind of looking at like the comparison point. So so at the moment I'm teaching law. So I just teach British law. But it's interesting to kind of like see like how our court systems compare to you, to have like that kind of deeper understanding of like their curriculum as it is. And with politics, we kind of like, you can choose a few modules and we choose to look at US politics. So it's
so
really
sorry.
good. It's very, very different. I think what we have in common, like the UK and the US, like our culture is very, very similar. But when you look a little bit deeper, like the way our systems are kind of like worked are different. So it's that kind of that comparison. When you have that angle, you then kind of understand like your own country a bit more and like the benefits or like the disadvantages, the way we do it. And also within the history students, they look at In Search of the American Dream. So they kind of look at from like 1900 onwards in the US. So we kind of like, we met up, we are friends. Do you know what I mean? Like we're sister colleges with each other, but we are genuine friends. So like we'll FaceTime and like talk about different things that we're looking for, and it's kind of like we kind of rely on each other to kind of make those things. But I just explained to Tim and his team in particular what we're looking for, and that's how the program is made. So we rely on our friendship.
This is your first trip, Karen. John, you've been here a time or two. So what's it like when you have your students before they board the plane headed to Mississippi? They have their experience, and then the chatty Cathy's on the way back about is it what you think? Is it the same every time? Are they pleasantly surprised? And if they're not, don't tell us. But I'm curious though what it's like after so many times you telling them you just wait, and then sort of having that conversation on the way home.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's apprehension before they go. I think that we've had people in here that students that are travelling that have never travelled before on a plane, so to get them on a 10-hour flight. I always say to them the hospitality in the South is amazing, and you have to be there you have to experience it. And if you ask some of the students in a minute, they'll be honest with you, and I expect they're all nodding their heads behind saying yes, this is amazing. Some don't want to go home. I think when we get back on the plane and come back to the UK, I think they're very grateful that experience and that understanding of the different cultures, how Mississippi is similar to us, but I think this is the friendly South. People cannot do enough for you. I think what I've seen, because Karen's the teacher, so I don't necessarily see them every day. I have for the last sort of couple of months because they've on this mobility, as I've seen them develop in the last 2 weeks, the conversations, them coming out their shells, them asking questions, and that's all part of what we do at Bridgewater and Tauton College, is about those extra skills that they can develop and so on. So for me and my team, we see them develop and come back.
Over 24 years, John, has anybody returned to Mississippi? Any of the students? Besides you?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think staff. I think staff has. So I think we've got a member of staff that's she came last year. 2 members of staff and the principal have come back. with friends. And
That's a great testament when you make it, make your way sort of back here.
I think students have. I can't remember the name
That's
on
okay.
it.
That's okay. Well, we get to talk to some of those students from Bridgewater coming up next here on Good Mississippi app and your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station. And don't forget, you can watch us. We are on your computer, your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. Still got a full house, but it changed out over the break. We've got our special guests here. They're visiting Mississippi from across the pond at Bridgewater and Tauton College. They're doing the exchange program with Hinds Community College. Now we get to catch up with some of the students. We've got Scarlett, Mick, and Olivia, who have been spending 15 days here in the Magnolia State. And Scarlett, you got to spend your birthday here in Mississippi. So happy birthday.
Thank you.
So I hear you had something specific you wanted to either eat or do on your birthday here. What was that?
I wanted to try Raising Cane's, and I wanted to try crumble cookie because it's in England. It's a big social media thing about some of the foods here in America.
So how did you turn?
I turned 17.
Turned 17. Okay, so Raising Cane's and crumble cookie is a perfect birthday celebration. Did it live up to expectation?
Well, I think things taste really different here in America, and the cookies were just really sweet. It was still really nice, but they were so sweet.
And probably really big as well. What about the cane sauce?
The cane sauce is really good.
Yeah. I'm sorry you can't take that back on the plane, I don't
know.
think. But you never know who could ship you something if we absolutely needed to. Okay, Scarlett, so how did you get involved with the exchange program there at your home school, Bridgewater?
Ever since I started my A-levels in September, I've been speaking to Karen about extracurriculars I can do, and I do the Honours Academy and the Student Digital Ambassador. And since being in law with Karen, I've done a lot of extracurriculars, which gave me a connection to the trip, which was
it a hard decision to make the long flight, or were you pretty excited about it?
No, I am so excited. It was never a doubt in my mind that I wanted to come on the trip.
So, Mick, not your birthday, sorry, but I guess you got canes and crumble cookie also.
100%.
So you got to enjoy that as well. Okay, so what sort of led you to this idea of coming to Mississippi, spending 2 weeks as part of your curriculum that looked like a good time?
I just saw it as a fun time, just another thing to do outside of college, spend some time with some good people, meet some new people, new experiences, new places. The biggest thing I like is pools here. There's pools absolutely everywhere. My host family has one in their house. I love it.
Yeah.
And that's about it. I just love everything about America.
So what did you have something, obviously not canes or crumble cookie, but was there like a food or a specific museum or something that you had maybe heard or known about here in Mississippi that you want to make sure that you tried while you were here?
Five Guys.
We really have to expand you guys' your palates here. However, though, so how was it? Did it live up to expectation?
It was delicious. I loved it. And I love the part where they give you the fries and they're all at the bottom of the bags. There's so much more than in the actual bags themselves.
In the actual bags itself. So you got your authentic experience with that. Okay, Olivia, for you, how did you get involved with the exchange program there at Bridgewater? Or what encouraged you to do that?
So I got involved because I'm part of the A-level students and I study law. Mm-hmm. So as part of the application process, I had to do an interview and write a 1,500 word essay. And I really wanted to come on this trip because it's a really good work experience. And I think it's really difficult to get good work experience, especially that it's so competitive being a law student and aspiring to go into a law career in the future.
Think you come back and practice law here in Mississippi?
I think I haven't really thought about it.
No, you've got plenty of time for that. So what's been your favorite experience so far here, Olivia?
I really enjoyed going to Graceland to the Elvis Presley's house and seeing all of his costumes and cars. It was just really fascinating because the volume of it.
Were you aware of who Elvis was prior to coming?
I did, but I did not know as much as I have learned from the museum.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Experience.
That's pretty cool. Okay, Scarlett, for you in terms of school-wise, I mean, getting to come down and see, I'm sure, Hinds Community College campus, and then just some of the ways that students do college here. Is it a bit different, or is it similar in terms of the way they go to class every day?
The way they go to class is quite similar. It's just the ways that the school sets out that's quite different because there's middle school, high school, college, and then I don't know what they call it, if it's university or not after that, but it's all just different stages.
You've got junior college, universities, that kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, so all the stages of schooling are different, and so the students we exchange with, the group of students we're close with in America, they range from 18 to 21, when the oldest we would be is 17, and so all the age groups are different, but we're learning at a similar I don't know how to describe it, but we're doing the same things.
Sort of the same things. So, Mick, do you get to meet the students that traveled to Bridgewater? Have y'all gotten to meet at all, like the exchange students, or are y'all just sort of on your separate and different trips?
Yeah, no, so we did. So they came to us originally to the Taunton College. They came for around a week and a half, and then we only met them around twice. So we did like this type of bowling thing. I was like old-fashioned bowling. Forgot what it was called. And then they won, sadly, but they took the trophy away from us. And then we met them again, like as soon as they came. And then we met them. We had like a little activities around like different types of laws and how it's different from here to there. And then we met them today actually again. We were at the cafeteria, and then it was just around a bit of fun.
Did
And
one
then-
of them put the Five Guys on you to go
No,
try?
no, they did not,
Okay.
no.
I figured. Okay. Olivia, I see here that you enjoy rugby. That is something we don't have here in Mississippi. Or you, is that correct?
I'm not really a rugby fan.
Well, I'm not sure where athletic. Okay, maybe I got it the wrong Olivia for that. But what were some of the things that you wanted to introduce to the kids that came to Bridgewater?
I think it's just so different. You know, it's such a different environment, and the people are so different, and the food is so different. I think it's just a whole new experience for everyone, and our classes are so different. I haven't sat in on any classes that are familiar to me, and I enjoyed sitting in on new learning techniques because it broadens your skills, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I think that's a good experience for them to learn as well.
Scarlett, tell me about these grits. When did y'all get your experience with grits today?
This morning we did some recording for Heinz, and
This is Heinz' fault.
Yeah. My host family, my host is Timothy Chrysler, and he is.
Oh, you're just throwing them under the bus.
Sorry. He's been going on at me about grits for so long, and then he was like, we're going to try it. And then he said, actually, we'll wait until we can do it for the show. And they gave it to us in these little plastic cups. And the way he described it, it was like heavenly. And I just didn't like it.
That's okay. You are allowed not to like things, but I will stand with the grits lovers of Mississippi and say you probably didn't have them correctly. So
No, it was just plain, and I can see how it would be nice if we had some more things in it, but it was just plain.
I can imagine those listening to Good Things Scarlet are screaming at their radio, cheese, butter, salt, pepper, cream, all the things. And then if you get really fancy, we sometimes put shrimp in there and call them shrimp and grits and that way. But yeah, so my one request would be if you get the opportunity to try them again, don't completely knock them. Mick, have y'all had anything else that's actually made by a Mississippian other than fast food?
We had the beaver nuggets this morning as well after the grits. They were like these sugar coated, like they look like cheese puffs, but they had a lot of sugar on them. They were absolutely lovely. It was perfect amount of sweetness, perfect amount of bitterness, perfect shapes and sizes. It was just lovely.
Have you had sweet tea yet?
Yes, I have tried it. Not my thing.
Not your thing.
I did half and half, sweet tea and unsweetened, and that was good. But just sweet tea by itself is not for me.
That's okay. It's good for your heart that your body appreciates that over the long run. Okay, Olivia, for you, what's the most thing that feels like home here? Is there anything similar? I know there's a lot of differences between Bridgewater and Heinz and Mississippi and home, but is there anything that's similar?
Definitely. When we were visiting the Heinz campus and the Utica campus, it just feels like such a close community, and I feel like we have that at home. Like all the students and teachers are very welcoming at both here and at home, which is really nice because it makes you feel very welcome wherever you are.
Mm-hmm. Scarlett, what's left? What do y'all have left to see?
Oh, so much. We're going to New Orleans this weekend.
Oh, wow, buckle up. Oh, if you don't like sugar, hang tight.
Yeah. Honestly, I just want to walk around New Orleans. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I know we've got so much. I literally can't even begin to go on, but there's so much left to do for us.
So we're looking forward to New Orleans. Mick, what are you looking forward to before y'all head back home?
Definitely New Orleans as well.
Okay.
And getting back home to my host family, getting back in the pool again.
So
it's just the pool.
It's just
I love the pool.
Is it not too cold?
No, nowhere near as cold as it is back in England.
Really?
No.
Oh, how old are you?
16.
Oh yeah, you don't. Yeah, it's just right fine for y'all, but for most of us, we're like, oh, you just wait. You come back in like 6 to 8 weeks, and we'll all be living in a pool here in Mississippi. Is the weather much different, Olivia, for you guys here? What would it be like at home right now?
Not that hot. It's quite cold at home, mostly rainy, so here it's really hot for us.
Oh dear Lord, y'all would never make it through the summer.
This is like heat wave for us.
Like, I'm struggling to sleep at night. It's really hot and I've got the fan on.
Oh,
uncomfortable.
Y'all chose the right time of year to bring them. Y'all, if you choose to come back, I highly recommend fall winter or spring for you guys in terms of not June, July, or August. Never come back to Mississippi because the humidity of the heat's so much higher. But we're so happy to have you guys here. We're so grateful that you're getting to experience and hearing that you're having a good time, and hope you the best on your travels. And come back and give us a try again, okay?
We will. Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
All righty, you guys stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.